Yo, when Tracy McGrady was on Gil's Arena, they had a conversation I want to dig into a little bit more. I know I did a little bit about a conversation they had before, but they talked about something I want to talk to y'all about. Let's go.
Don't ever underestimate the heart of a champion.
Okay, Ring Culture, welcome back to Ring Culture, where we play no games, we just spit game about the game we love. Before we get into this video, go over to my reaction channel, link will be in the description. Check out my sports reactions, y'all will really love those. So, I always wanted to go back to this Gil's Arena interview that they had with Tracy McGrady, where Swaggy was basically saying to Tracy that if he had like Kobe Bryant's mentality, he could have won a ring. And they started getting into this whole thing about Kobe being the number 1 or 2 with Shaq on the Lakers. And this number 1 and 2 thing sometimes becomes convoluted. But they did make some really interesting points that I want y'all to listen to, and I'm going to come back at the end. And I want y'all opinion on this, because this is something that I struggle with a little bit when it comes to 1 and 2. And it happens a lot with Kobe Bryant and Shaq and Kevin Durant and Steph Curry. So listen to this, and then we'll come back and talk about it.
Let's talk basketball, and why not though?
99
so the mindset part.
That's what I'm saying.
But you talking about telling Shaq to going to tell them to get Shaq out of there? He was like 24, 25 years old.
Look, that's the mindset Kobe had. Like, he taking shots, fuck Shaq at this point. It's about me.
But that's why they lost.
But
see, nobody wants to get
He got 5.
No, see, you're talking about the future. We're talking about this moment in time.
No, Nick, don't go too far.
So where are we saying that?
2000 to 2002.
We talking 2000. We're going 2000, 2004. We give you that.
Two
right?
first team All NBA selections.
And that's around that time. He totally got Shaq out there.
No, we got Shaq out what? 2004,
4.
But they already had 3 chips at this time.
Yeah, so they wanted 3 chips. So I had this conversation
like,
with Derek
Fisher. His mindset was like, I'm not number 2,
but
it's me or him.
Now,
and I got mad because when they didn't even say I was a part of it. Remember when Kobe said he got mad when he kept saying it's Shaq?
Right, but did they win though?
No. See, that's the problem that nobody wants to admit, especially
they didn't win.
If you're a Kobe fan. I had this conversation. I said, what happened to championship 4 and 5? And this is what Derek Fisher was saying. He said, during that 3-peat, we're sitting there watching Kobe go from a Robin to him. Like, we're sitting there like, yo.
We always watching
like,
that.
Who team that's like
we always watching that.
You know, Shaq is like, y'all know who this. And they're sitting there like, yo, young fellas like that. So he said, so we start the next year. Shaq is hurt. He said, so Kobe takes reign. And that's when Kobe starts the season off killing. Shaq comes back. And they're like, yo, hey, take a back seat. And he was like, no. So he said, so what ends up happening is these two are what's the name? So Shaq is like, I ain't playing defense, you ain't, pass me the ball.
Yeah.
So he said, we would have won the 4th one if it was still Shaq in front.
Yeah.
Because Shaq in front, he played his game. Yeah. Kobe was going to do Kobe no matter what. So Shaq wasn't ready to be a number 2, and that hurt his feelings. And because it hurt his feelings, he wasn't fucking around.
What he's saying.
That's the
mindset. But listen,
you gotta have.
Listen,
no. T-Mac.
No.
T-Mac, best player in the league. I could go into Orlando office and say, get Patrick Ewing, Orlando. Get who else you have?
What is the goal?
What's the goal?
Armstrong ass
following year and go get me some players. I can do that.
What's the goal?
Listen to what we're saying. Derek Fisher is saying, if Shaq would have stayed the number one option, we would have won 4 and 5.
Listen.
He's saying because of this. Shaq as the number one, he plays number one. Kobe is going to be Kobe, 1 or 2. Shaq at 2, he wasn't mentally ready
I know
to be
this.
the second option.
Nick,
but so you only had Kobe doing him, and Shaq was mentally not there.
But
so when you're saying the reason that you didn't win 4 and 5 is because Kobe at that moment in time wanted to prove he was the number one option and say, fuck these championships. And Shaq at that time was like, all right, you're the number one option? All right, let's see. So he's willing to let him try to do it on his own.
Yeah.
But that's
so you don't win 4
That's what I'm talking about as winning a championship.
You're
Who's got that mindset?
You're willing to lose. So you're willing to lose.
But Shaq went to Miami and played number 2 for D-Wade.
Because he got convincing. But you're willing to lose 4 and 5. See, if this was Kobe in 2009-10, if this was Kobe in 2009 and 10, that mentality, if he had that mentality back then, he would have been like, yeah, big fella, it's still your team. Because he knew, long as I say it's your team, don't mean it's your team.
Yeah.
I'm going to still come down here. Now I get to make you play defense. I get to make you play defense because if you're not the number one option mentally, you're not giving us shit down here. You're not being big
Nick,
fella.
But Swag, let me ask you this. So you're saying because Kobe has the mentality to get rid of Shaq and try to do it on his own is the reason why you don't think I can go in and play with Shaq to win a chip?
Because you had the opportunity to do that type of stuff, though.
How?
You had a team, you had a whole
Where?
franchise in your league. You could have went in there and said, get rid of this person and get this
How?
person. You don't need a shot. You could have went and got somebody else.
How?
The same way Kobe did. That's what I'm saying.
Kobe ain't do that.
He got rid of. He got
rid of Shaq.
But
no, they did. They still won 2 more with that.
Yeah, see, you're moving the goalpost to when he's 30. We're talking about when he's 24.
Nick, hold on, Gil. Hold on.
All right,
Swag, hold on.
You're talking about 24 mentality.
Let's go back. You're going too far. Let's go back. I told you, it's a small little area. We're talking about early 2000, 2003, 2004. How am I going to go into my management and tell them to get rid of injured Grant Hill to better my team?
You got to do what you got to do. You got to have that mama mentality. But fuck everybody to win a championship.
And what's so funny is what you're saying is the result of why he's disrespected.
See, you always say it's your team. If y'all would use that against him.
No.
If he say it's Shaq's team.
If he's no. Everybody said it was Shaq. He's just making him feel better.
So you gotta fight against that if you really want to be the number 1 player ever.
What does it matter?
You gotta fight against all.
Bro.
Let me ask you, bro. If he has 7 rings right now.
That's what I was just about to say. I was just about to say,
exactly.
if they won 6 or 7 rings straight, and Kobe would be the greatest basketball player ever. With Shaq.
But y'all don't count as 5. Y'all say you got 3 of them being a sidekick.
But this
so not getting 5 more with Shaq. That's just
but I'm gonna tell you what the
Kobe is on number 11 in people's eyes.
I'm gonna tell you the problem. This was the problem.
I see what you got.
This was the problem that no one thought about or looked at during that time. Is Kobe won his 3rd ring, right? And at that time, he's the first shooting guard who is considered the next Michael Jordan. Just did what Michael Jordan did, 3-peated.
Yeah.
And still,
who came back that year?
Who came back where? Oh, MJ.
MJ came back in the NBA, while Kobe won his 3rd ring. What do you think the MJ media started doing? Wow, MJ was never a second option on a... See, nobody thinks about the narrative of what happened. MJ's media did exactly what MJ's media do. NBC, all of it. Oh, those are
Let me
not
say
real.
this, bro.
Your second option. That, you're
Look.
just a Robin. No one.
That was the
glorified.
media, bro.
That was the media.
Because as players, when we watching this shit, when I'm watching Cole in 2000, my brother can tell you, bro, I'm in my living room. When I'm watching the NBA Finals and Shaq fouls out of that game and Cole took over, bro, I'm running around my fucking, because this my dude, right? I'm running around my house going crazy watching my dude take over this game, bro. That's when I was like, oh yeah, this motherfucker arrived, bro. Like he is that dude. So when I'm watching him at that time, I'm not looking at him to be a sidekick or a second option to Shaq. Hell no, I'm looking at him like he's that dude. He's putting up crazy numbers alongside of him. Could it be a case that the media, same thing what they did with KD, right? Listening to the media, what they was portraying, oh, you can't win championship, right? So he got to go to Golden State, wins the championship, falls into that, and I don't know if that's true. I'm just saying, could it be the same thing happened to Cole, where they were saying he was a second option, calling the sidekick, and then he goes.
I'm listening to everything.
The more I listen to Gil's Arena, they have some really, really good discussions on that show. I know some people don't like it. He does say some crazy shit sometimes about LeBron that I don't agree with. But some of the stuff they were saying on that show, in this particular instance, I thought this discussion was rich. Because, first, let's talk about Kobe and his struggles with Shaq. Shaquille O'Neal had this thing where he would be jealous of the other superstar on his team. He went through it with Penny Hardaway. He would get hurt a lot, and Penny Hardaway would shine, and the media would praise Penny Hardaway, and Shaq's out. Shaq had like a jealousy for Penny Hardaway because of the attention he was getting. Well, when he went to LA and they got Kobe Bryant was a bona fide superstar. Shaq would get a little bit jealous of Kobe too. So I remember they was going through this thing with Kobe saying he's not going to take a back seat. He's going to keep growing. And Shaq wanted him to take a back seat. And I always thought to myself, like, what is this? Like, your goal is to win a championship. Who gives a shit who's the number one and the number two? Because championship teams usually have two number one caliber players, and one of them is just considered a number two. You know what I'm saying? Pippen with Jordan. Pippen was a number one caliber player, but he was just considered a number two. He played his role. He deferred to Jordan, and they were very successful. In 2004, Kobe Bryant was on a mission to show that he was the number one, and that he was going to win. They was going to win the championship with him doing number one, I guess, more shots and stuff like that. And he played awful in that finals, and they lost. They pretty much got schooled by Detroit. Kobe Bryant, and although I love Kobe Bryant in his journey to be a number one, he did a lot of times used to shoot his team out of games. Even games that they were up, he would just take these ridiculous shots. And that was a part of his growing pain and his immaturity, because him and Shaq both were really immature when they were with the Lakers. And they both were fixated on being the number one and having the most attention. And that's what destroyed that Lakers team. To the point where even Phil Jackson was saying Kobe was uncoachable. These two guys wanted personal accolades. They wanted to be number one on championship teams, and it destroyed their dynasty over there in LA. It destroyed what could have been a dynasty in Orlando when Shaq would get a little resentful of Penny Hardaway. I'm not big on hypotheticals, but I actually understand what Tracy McGrady is saying. But him saying replace me with Kobe, that's nonsense to me. Tracy McGrady had Yao Ming. He had some teams that he could have got out of the first round. He's revising. He's engaging in some serious revisionist history, bruh. Tracy McGrady, you just wasn't that dude. I mean, just give it a rest, man. Like, you just wasn't that dude. Like, he was a great player, but Tracy McGrady was not Kobe. He just wasn't. You can't get out the first round. Like, what? How many times was he in the first round? I said it in one of my other videos. Like 9 times. He had a chance to get out the first round. He couldn't do it. Was it 9 times? He's just not content with his career. But when they're talking about Kobe, when they asked if he had 7 rings, he would be considered the greatest player ever. I don't know if that's just a media thing where the number one option is going to get most of the credit. He just is. I see some guys who, like pro Kobe, try to say that Kobe wasn't a sidekick all of the years with Shaq on the championships. Championship 2 and 3, he wasn't a sidekick. He was a sidekick, man. He just was. Shaq was the number 1 on all three of those teams. He was. Kobe Bryant, the second and third year, Kobe Bryant put up some great numbers, but he wasn't the number 1. He just wasn't. It was Shaq. Those were Shaq's teams. That's why when Swaggy P said, y'all saying he won 3 with Shaq, it wasn't just the media. That's just the reality of things. What happened with Kevin Durant probably had something to do with that. Like McGrady said, Kevin Durant won 2 championships, but they're saying, well, you can't win a championship, you just ran to the team that beat you. That's also true. You have to prove that you can lead a team to a championship. He had that opportunity when he was with the Thunder, and he did lead them to the finals, but they just lost, though. So it wasn't like Kevin Durant couldn't get his team to the finals. He did get the team to the finals. And he had another number 1 caliber player next to him who was the second option, Russell Westbrook. He had one on the bench too, but he hadn't evolved yet to a number 1 caliber player, but James Harden. But Kobe he wasn't the number 1 on those 3 teams. So his 5 championships are counted, but 3 of them can't be counted the same as a number 1 option. Not all championships for all players are weighted the same. They're just not. Like, would you we do it with LeBron. A lot of guys don't consider that Mickey Mouse championship as weighted the same as other championships. Well, if you're number 2 on the team, like Pippen, we can say Pippen has 6 championships, but Pippen's 6 championships aren't weighted the same as Michael Jordan's 6, and they won those together. Pippen was the number 2. So everybody on the panel made great points. Tracy McGrady was out of pocket, saying replace himself with Kobe. I'm not even talking about that. I did that in another video. But they are right. The reason that Lakers lost is because Kobe Bryant and Shaq were fighting over number 1. You know what I'm saying? Like, they totally lost sight of the reason that they were getting paid was to win championships. They wanted to win the championship, but that took second place to who was getting the most credit, who was the man on the team. So, I don't know if they're right to say that if Kobe won 7 championships, he would be considered the greatest player of all time. Some people might consider him that because we already know that there are some people who do not consider Kobe first 3 championships as the second option. They consider him to be the man. You see what I'm saying? Like, they give those championships the same weight as they give Shaq for those championships. So it depends on the person probably a little bit. But it's always going to be a knock against Kobe from now until forever that his first 3 championships, he wasn't the number one. And then you're going to have people on the other side that's saying, the hell, he wasn't the number one. You can't call him a socket. But it's just not going to be the same as a bona fide number one championship. You know what I'm saying? Y'all let me know what y'all think down below. These guys bring up some really, really great points. I love Kobe. Me personally, I see his first championships as him being a second option, but I still count it that he has 5 championships because he was a huge part of those teams and those championships. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like Robert Horry. Robert Horry has 7 rings. Nobody in their right mind would say, would put weight on Robert Horry's 7 championships as him being the number one option. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still count Kobe 5 championships to him when I talk to somebody else. But then when you're pitting him up against somebody else who was the first option in their team with multiple championships, it's going to come up that Kobe Bryant was not necessarily the number one. He just wasn't on those championship teams. It's so fair or unfair, I don't know. But when you're talking about great players, you are splitting hairs. So there's little advantages you're going to have here or there when you're talking about great players. Now, I don't believe Kobe Bryant's number 11. I have Kobe Bryant at like number 5 or 6 on my all-time list. Because to me, he was a huge part of those championships. And then after Shaq, he went to three more straight finals and won 2. So Kobe Bryant was a bona fide number 1. It's interesting, when you're weighing between great players. But what do y'all think? Y'all think Kobe Bryant was a number 2? His first 3 championships? Do y'all count his 5 championships the same as you would count a number 1 like Jordan or Shaq, his teammate? Guys that Magic Johnson, multiple championships. Because with all great players, except for maybe Jordan, all great players they had finals series where they wasn't the best player in their finals wins. I think LeBron he's 4 for 4 in finals MVPs for his 4 championships, but he lost 6. But I'm just talking about your finals wins. LeBron and Jordan has all the finals MVPs. And there's always a finals where a great player wasn't the best player in all of the finals they won. Duncan had Tony Parker won the MVP, and I think Kawhi Leonard won the MVP. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure if Magic Johnson didn't win MVP in all of his finals. Did Larry Bird? I don't remember. You know what I'm saying? Shaq didn't win the MVP in all of his finals. And 3 of them he did. Kobe Bryant didn't win MVP in all of his finals. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting the conversation that they had. But yeah, I mean Kobe. I just don't count the first 3, me personally, as with him as a number 1. But I do count his 5 championships. But if I pit him up against certain players, that is one of the layers that's going to get peeled away. Well, you wasn't the number 1 on all of your championships. I mean, that's just how you measure great players. You're just splitting hairs. I mean, let me know what y'all think down below. And always remember, we are ring culture, because the whole point of the culture is to win rings for the culture. I love y'all.